AITA for refusing to apologize to my dad's stepchildren for moving out while I was still a kid. My dad became a single dad to me while I was still very young, 5. My mom up and left at that time due to a mental health crisis that was not really recognized at the time. 2 years later we found out she had died. It was pretty world-shattering for me because I learned she hadn't been well and I felt tremendous guilt because I called her mean and said she was a bad mom for leaving me, when in reality, she had needed help and it was help she didn't get before it was too late. My dad was busy working. I spent most of my days with my grandparent. They would take care of me before and after school, on Saturdays when my dad also worked, and all day during breaks from school. They were who I was used to more than him. But I did crave a relationship with him and I got some attention and time with him on Sundays when he was off work and would actually be with me. When I was 10 he moved a woman and her children into our house and 2 months later he got married to the woman. When she moved in my dad stopped sending me to my grandparents and told me I would be staying with the woman and her kids before and after school and that our family had grown so I could be at home with them. I hated it. I did not know her or the kids at this point. I only met her the day before they moved in when they dropped off some of their stuff. And when my dad had Sundays off as always, he was too busy with her, or with her kids or trying to drag us all along to something that I got no time with just him. I told him about it and he said he wouldn't be able to do it anymore because he was a married man and had other kids he was responsible for now. I asked my grandparents if I could live with them. They told my dad and he talked to me and I told him I wanted to live with my family and since he wasn't going to be available for me ever, I might as well be with my grandparents who I loved rather than the strangers he moved into our house. My dad told me I could have a mom again and siblings if I stayed and I told him it was weird to think about strangers that way. It bothered him and he resisted at first but my grandparents told him that he had dropped the ball when it came to me and it was time to either step up and do better or let me go to them where they could devote the time to me. So I moved in with my grandparent. I saw my dad not very often. A handful of times a year at best but typically not even that often. His wife was offended I didn't want to stay with her and her kids and as her kids have gotten older, and now we're all adults or older teens. I'm 24 and the oldest. They're upset and feel like I owe them an apology for leaving because I'm their brother and I chose to leave rather than be their brother and get to know them and be family with them. They actually asked me for an apology last week when I saw them at a family function. I refused to apologize and I told them I had zero regrets. AITA?